I wonder how many marriages have been destroyed because of this. We all know how DNA fraud works. Yes. But there's just two cases I heard of recently that I want to talk about because I'm sure the amount of people that know about this are very small. So it's a man and his wife, they had a kid, and I don't know what happened, but for some reasons the man was suspecting that the child was not his. So it caused a little bit of problem, you know how it goes. But eventually the man was like, the woman agreed, like, oh yeah, let's get a DNA test done. When they did the DNA test, the child did not belong to the man. So the man was like, I told you. But the woman, she lost her shit. She's like, that lie, I don't go agree. There's nothing like that. This child is yours. She was swearing and all of that. So the man now, I don't know who advised him to, but he went to do a 23andMe test, which is the whole relative one. So when he did it, he found out that he is the uncle of the child, not the dad. Now, based on where they are, how they got married, I don't think there was an uncle present that they'll now be like, oh, you were cheating on me with my uncle and that's how you got pregnant. That one was ruled out. So it was now weird that how am I not the dad but I'm the uncle when there's no situation that will warrant for you to get pregnant for my uncle. That was when the test started. They started testing the man. Let me stop it here and go to the second story. So the second story is a woman. She and her husband were having issue, and of course the man said the kids are not his. It was causing problems as usual. So they said let them do a DNA test. They actually got a divorce. They divorced because of the issue. It was now time to pay child support. So the man was like, I'm not paying child support for children that I don't think are mine. The court now suggested that, okay, do a DNA test so you know if anyone belongs to you, so you know the one you'll be paying child support for. They now did the DNA test. They now found out that the man was the father of the 3 children, but the woman was not the mother. Immediately, the court charged her for fraud for trying to take money for children that are not hers. I don't know if you understand. Like, the children are not yours, but you want to collect child support from their father simply because you want the kids to be with you. Like, and you're dragging the kids with their father or something like that. But the court, they charged her. And she's like, what do you mean? I gave birth to these children. How are the children not mine? Fortunately, she was pregnant during the time of this divorce. That was when she was attached to a social worker. A female social worker was attached to her, and the woman monitored her pregnancy, like monitored her throughout the pregnancy till the day she was supposed to give birth. And according to the court, this social worker is supposed to be present in the delivery room when she was giving birth to be sure that the baby came from her, which was what happened. When they gave birth to the baby, the social worker was there. She saw the baby come out from the woman. Fine. After the baby came out, they did a DNA test on that baby. The baby was not hers also. And they were like, wait. So the 4 children now, they are all the man's baby. They did the DNA test they also did for the man. The new baby is also the man's baby, which is now 4 children belonging to the man. But the 4 of them are not the woman's children. But since the social worker was present for the last baby, there was no way in hell that they can say, okay, you didn't give birth to this baby. Of course, they already know about the term chimera. That like there are a group of people called chimera. So what they started doing, they started taking DNA sample from different parts of the body. From the mouth, the hair, the toes, they just started taking DNA samples, and each one belongs to the woman. Like, okay, this is your DNA, until they took a swab thingy from her private part. That was when they found out that it belongs to somebody else. Back to the story of the man. They did DNA test on him. They found out that his reproductive organ does not have his DNA. It has the DNA of another person. So who these chimera people are, they are people that absorbed their twins when their mom was pregnant with them. So there's conjoined twins, yes, but there's chimera. Those chimera, they like absorb when they were forming, like in the early stage, they absorb the other twin. So that other twin's DNA can plant on any part of the body. There's one girl I saw on TikTok here. Her face is divided in half. Like it's a full face, complete face. But one side she also has heterochromia. One side has different color of eyes, different skin tone. She's a white person, so it's just different shades, like just slight change. The other side has different color eye, different shades. So her own took one side of her body, while some would just go and plant somewhere, like in this case, in the organs, in the reproductive organs. So if you do the DNA test, do a 23andMe test. It's just a fascinating concept. Like there's so much we don't know. Yeah, bye.